Welcome back to the online Darts Live League here on Sporty Stuff TV. It's the final chance for 3 more players to book their place in the final tomorrow. We've already got Josh Payne, Colin Osborne and Kieran Tierney getting through their groups. And 3 more will join them after the conclusion of play tonight. And we have a little scan at Group A, which is where Josh Payne booked his spot. Comfortable in the end for Josh. He's had a couple of days rest. Scott Walters, Lisa Ashton, 2nd and 3rd. They then joined in Group B, and the bottom 3, Tabin, Osborne and Teen, were in Group C. We'll have a look at Group B now as well, which is what we're concluding tonight. 3 more spots available, and plenty for Ashton and Walters to do. It's looking good for Hamilton, Barstow and Nick Kenny. Hamilton, Kenny and Barstow picking up 6 points. They've got a little gap from Scott Walters and Lisa Ashton. And we saw this afternoon, Group C, Colin Osborne got a little favour from his mate Alan Tabin in the end to get him through. Kieran Tierney topped the group. Osborne 2nd. Peter Jakes agonisingly missing out on legs. It was in his own hands. He had to beat Alan Tabin in the last match. He didn't. And that ultimately gave this place to Kieran Tierney and Colin Osborne. So 3 places confirmed. 3 more available tonight. And it's looking pretty good for Andy Hamilton, as I said, Nick Kenny and Chaz Barstow. But they've still got to do their bit. And it's Andy Hamilton who we're going to see at first taking on Scott Walters. Scott Walters, realistically, probably going to win every match tonight. It's a big ask for him. But he's in with a chance. Andy Hamilton can as good as book his spot if he gets victory in this opening match. So there's wriggle room for Barstow, Kenny and Andy Hamilton. There's no room for errors this evening for Ashton and Scott Walters, and we're getting underway with Scott Walters, and he just didn't get going last night. He picked up the solitary victory over Lisa Ashton, whereas this man, Andy Hamilton, debut in the Live League, good account himself last night, and he'll be fairly relaxed playing tonight, knowing that he probably needs, well, he might get away with 1 win actually, but a couple to make sure. And there we see the group. There is a gap for Scott Walters, and Andy Hamilton wins here. I'd go as far as saying he's effectively through with that leg difference as well. Walters can only get with 4 wins to 10 points. He loses here, can only get to 8, and Hamilton's on 8 already with a win. So
first leg, it's
big
Scott
match
first.
already for Scott Walters to kick things off as we look to fill up that final group tomorrow.
$60.
Steady away. Andy Hamilton, who's 1 defeat, was at the hands of Nick Kenny last night. But it was a good performance from Andy. 94 and a bit average, but Nick Kenny just had a bit
41.
too much. And we'll see Nick Kenny and Barstow up next. We get our first look at Lisa Ashton in the 3rd match against Andy Hamilton.
59.
Big ask for Lisa Ashton, but she's got a chance. She'll be just selling herself. Try and win 4 games if it's enough. So it'll be. But if not, she's contributed to this
125.
week. Runner-up in Group A behind Josh Payne. And got to mention it. The gentleman who I'm filling in for tonight, Chris Mason, has won the warm-up event in the seniors. Congratulations, Chris. He beat Colin McGarry. And he'll be in the qualifiers tomorrow.
$59.
And Walters, but he got a little buffer here. Just didn't happen for Scott last night. A better player than what he gave account of himself. His average, running average on that round about 77. Just didn't click into gear. We know Scott can play better and expect him to play better this evening. The standout performance of the evening from last night came from Chaz Barstow. 105 average against Lisa Ashton.
134.
Good switching from Andy Hamilton. And he's first to finish. We saw some impressive finishing this afternoon. There was a 138 from Peter Jakes to start things off. A 139 from Dom Taylor. 140 from Tabin. A 148 from Peter Jakes as well.
100.
Good turn from Andy, so bit of pressure already for Walters. 17 for the Bull. Bull for the holder throw. Yeah, good recovery. Brilliant from Scott Walters. He could have panicked after that first start. He was intending for the 25, but comfortably just gets the 17 and a Bull. That's a good holder throw. Just what Scott Walters needed. A good start tonight. And he's got that. And he's off and running. So 3 spaces available in Champions
59.
Group tomorrow evening. Champions Group's already got 9 players in it. Dan Reed, James Richardson, Paul Hogan, Michael Warburton, Robert Owen, Lee Evans, Adam Smith, Neil,
41.
Matthew Denon, and Richard North. And 3 from the remaining 8 players available. We've got Josh Payne, Kieran T, and Colin Osborne, as we know, will be here tomorrow. I think we expect them to be joined by Andy Hamilton, Chaz Barstow, and Nick Kenny.
57.
But we just don't know. Walters can put a marker down here, and if Lisa Ashton can win her first game, it just gets a little bit of panic, gives those players something to think about.
81.
But impressed with Walters in that opening head. Not a spectacular leg in terms of the statistics, but just the way he kept himself together after deviating from the 25 segment. And he's already having a little head shake in the background, but look, his job
25.
done in the opening leg.
$125.
Good again from Scott. Now threatening to break a throw. That's the first start, Andy Hamilton. Got to work that. Look at this. Got to be, surely. Well, he's surprised as me. But better visit from Andy Hamilton. Slow start to the match from both.
140.
But back-to-back 140s, and Walters is down to a finish. He may go back up. Or may go for 17, lead 164.
114.
But he may not get a shot. This for 2-0.
79.
Pulled that down, and you can
Andy
see.
164.
And Walters will have a bit of work to do when he comes back. It's never easy splitting a shot, shaking his head, but he'll probably return. Being a bit hard on himself early doors in this match, Scott Walters.
83. Scott, you require 35.
So, options, 3, 19, 15. 3 for double 16. And there we see,
and you require 81.
Dart deviating into the 5, cost him darts at the double. Hamilton to level up the game. 2 at double 12. That's a good guide. Walters can't look. And he hears the call of game shot. And Andy Hamilton levels up. Bit of a steal for Andy Hamilton, but when things aren't going your way, like it has been for Scott Walters, these things happen. And that dart into the 5 cost him, and he couldn't tidy up the 35. And Hamilton breaks back, and a very modest start to the game, but 2 holds a throw. It is
41. $101.
And lucky with the switch. But how much will that previous leg be playing on Scott Walters' mind?
140.
Well, that helps. A couple of 140s already in the match. Just got to keep himself together, Scott Walters, because there's pressure on him to win all his games tonight. That pressure is not on Andy Hamilton, because he made a good start last night.
100.
And that might play into the hands of Nick Kenny, Chaz Barstow, and Andy Hamilton. They've got room for error tonight. Walters and Lisa Ashton have
100.
first max.
135.
Oh, and by not staying in the 20s, hasn't left a shot. Walters will leave a shot.
85.
Should have been better. He knows that. And the hammer gets a chance to lay up the shot. As I beat Walters 4-2 last night. The final match of the night, hence why this is the first match of this evening. Brilliant setup play from Andy Hamilton. And Scott Walters is under pressure, and again going for a 25, hits a 15, but he can't rescue it on this occasion.
95.
Hamilton has forced the issue here.
32.
This for a 13 dart leg. It was great setup play from the hammer. And that is a clinical leg. 13 dart leg and a breaker throw for Andy Hamilton. It is timing. Scott Walters had his chance to break, didn't take it. Hamilton shows his class. 13 dart leg breaker throw. And Hamilton leads 2-1 here in a game that Scott Walters really needed to win. I know it's the first game of the night, but he's left himself a lot to do. And Hamilton just going through the gears now.
$40. 41.
Josh Payne had a couple of days off. Kieran Tierney, top of the league. Colin Osborne had a couple of games off at the end this afternoon, but got away with it. Well done, Colin Osborne and Kieran Tierney. I'm only joking.
96.
Colin. Deserved his spot. Nervy wait in the end, but he'll be a debt of gratitude to his old friend Alan Tabben.
123.
Worth mentioning, Martin Thomas made a good fist of it today as well. Pleased for Dom Taylor to pick up a couple of wins to bow out and just something to take away. Not a great couple of days for Dom, but played some good stuff in patches.
96.
And Hamilton just starting to pull away from Scott Walters. Walters after averaging a little bit more than Andy.
100.
And there we have our first max. It belongs to Scott Walters. Credit to him. It'd have been easy to fold here. Good again from Hamilton, though. Just got to stay in that 20 to definitely leave a finish.
139.
Well, that's good. Really good.
Scott Newcar, 157.
Always been a good counter, Andy Hamilton. Well, he's got rid of the 7. 90 left. Options, bull, 54, treble 20. Yep.
85.
Option 54.
Andy Newcar, 130.
Can't force his way through. The treble would have left the ball. Again, 54 looks the shot. Good pick off from Andy Hamilton. And there's pressure on the 72 of Scott Walters. Good first dart. Can he finish? Brilliant from Scott Walters. I'm being impressed there. Knowing that the way those last two legs have slipped away from him. But that's a really tidy finish. And he gets the break back. We are 2 apiece. And Scott Walters still digging in deep. A tidy 72 finish. And Walters' average creeping over 90 now.
137.
We said he's better than what he showed yesterday, and he's proving that here.
$125. 60.
Hamilton got the break, but didn't hammer home the advantage. Got to use that first dart. Yeah, looking over to the left. It's going to be tricky to get in there. Is this the first max for Hamilton? Brilliant dart from Andy Hamilton. A 180 apiece now. But it's Hamilton making his move again on the Scott Walters throw.
100.
Just keeps him in touch, but Hamilton's got the advantage. 6 darts guaranteed to get rid of 196. His setup play off the 165 in leg 3 was brilliant. He
81.
won't be happy with that, you can see. Was hoping to leave 56 with a 140, ends up leaving 115. The minimum he'd like was
140.
I was going to say it was 96, but
115.
Scott Walters has jumped all over it, but a very gettable out. Start down the bottom of the board. 18 for double top. For a third consecutive breaker throw. Raised eyebrows from Scott. And Hamilton
95.
unlucky.
Scott
Just dropped slow, but it's been a real good encounter this. Scott Walters, stay there on 8. That's a good little guide for the double 16 as well. For 3-2.
48.
Inside.
And you require 20.
So Hamilton to go one away. He would have the darts in the next leg, but he's got to get rid of this double 10 first. Yeah, awkward. Oh, good luck getting in air hand. There we see. He's probably looking the top end of the double, but this is going to be tricky.
No score.
Yeah.
Scott requires 16.
Missed a trick there, Andy Hamilton. The first dart did him no favours. The second one particularly really blocked the bet. And Scott Walters takes his chance and leads 3-2 now. Andy Hamilton, 4 darts to break through. He would have been throwing for the match. Instead, he's throwing to save the match. And Scott Walters needed a win to start the day. Well, he's one leg away from doing that.
6-leg Andy to throw first.
Andy Hamilton won't be overly panicked if he loses this match, but keen to hit the ground running.
$125.
Can Hamilton complete the turnaround?
45. $96.
Yeah, good switching from Andy, and already got a healthy lead in this leg.
$140.
Scott Walters comes back, but still a decent advantage.
96. $100.
Can't find a turn 40, so Hamilton, again, like in the previous leg, had 6 at 196, didn't get rid of it. He's actually afforded 9 darts and didn't get rid of it.
$95.
And again, drifting on his last dart with the setup shot, but Hamilton will get a shot at the 89. It's just what pressure's on it.
45.
Well, there's none.
And you require 89.
Doesn't need to go for the ball now, Andy Hamilton. What's it under normal circumstances under pressure? It's treble 19 single, 20 for ball. Treble 10, treble 18. There it is, and double 8 for a deciding leg. Yeah, good pick off from Andy Hamilton. There was no pressure on the shot.
Andy Hamilton.
And he tidies up there, but it is Scott Walters who has the darts in his deciding leg, and it's a must-win leg for Scott Walters to keep his slender hopes alive of making it in to the final group tomorrow. And he's making the best possible start with that first dart.
100.
Only a 10, but he'll take that. Can Hamilton apply the pressure? The pressure's on Scott Walters.
$48.
No, so opportunity knocks for Scott Walters.
121.
And slip with the last one, but he's got a healthy lead here. And Walters looking to double his points tally. Would take him on to 4. And then would be within 1 win of Andy Hamilton, Nick Kenny, and Chaz Barstow. Barstow and Kenny playing next, so one of them is going to pull away. which one, but Walter's got to finish the job here. He should do from here.
140.
Big win for Walters, because a victory for Hamilton would have good have seen him through. And he's going to need some serious errors from Scott Walters if he's going to clinch victory here.
100. Scott, you require 140.
Straight turn. It's not disastrous. Even that's not a disaster.
40.
Not ideal, but not a disaster. Hamilton, 180 realistically, just to plant seeds of doubt in Scott Walters' head. Can't leave a finish now, so Walters has been such a comfortable leg
78.
for him.
Scott, you require 100.
To take his tally up to 4 points. No need for tops. He went for it, but it was a sensible effort.
60.
Not going out the board. That's the minimum requirement. 60 scored. We'll get some match darts. And Hamilton will be disappointed because he should have maybe led 3-2. 4 darts to break through. But from there, Scott Walters looked comfortable.
42.
Hamilton chucks the last
Scott,
dart
you
away. He
require
knows his
40.
race is run here. Walters for the win. Double 10. And that is victory for Scott Walters, and that puts Scott Walters in the mix. And Andy Hamilton, who had margin for error, well, there were some errors there, and Scott Walters deserved the victory. A few missed doubles from Andy Hamilton, but Walters comfortable in the deciding leg, and he doubles his points tally. He moves on to 4 points now. He needs a few more wins today, but he is in the mix. Walters off and running with a 4-3 win. We've got Barstow and Nick Kenny coming up in our next match. start to the evening's proceedings. Scott Walters, who was a long shot tonight, but he's given himself a fighting chance. Victory over Andy Hamilton. It drags Andy Hamilton into the mix. Hamilton wins that. There's a 6-point gap between them. He's now cut the gap down to just 2 points. And he will be 2 points within one of these two after this game, because one of these will remain on 6, but the winner will have a foot in tomorrow's final group. Nick Kenny, Chaz Barstow, both starting the day on 6 points. Barstow won this match 4-2 yesterday, and we'll be fairly confident these two are progressing. I said looking to join Josh Payne, Kieran Tean and Colin Osborne. Lisa Ashton, who still got a chance. She needs to win all her 4 games realistically this evening. She's up next.
First leg is chance to throw
against
first.
Andy Hamilton.
Game on.
It's Barstow to kick things off. Who played some real good stuff last night, Chaz. Had a good year in the PDC last year. Didn't have a tour card, but managed to get himself to the Players' Championship finals. He lost out to Brendan Dolan. He got to the World Championships and he had a victory over John Norman Jr. and he actually took a set off Michael Van Gerwen. Made a real good account of himself, Chaz, but couldn't get the tour card. But a player more than capable. Fairly local as well, Chaz. Winchester, just up the road. Nick Kenny, who was also in the World Championships. But he was beaten comfortably by Rowby John Rodriguez. He'd be disappointed, Nick Kenny. Had 2 years on the PDC circuit, qualified for the Worlds twice, but didn't keep his card. Mainly down to that he relied on the playoffs. He got through the playoffs twice, so if you qualify by the order of merit, you've obviously accumulated around about £20,000 in prize money. But Kenny 54. Lost his tour card, but still plenty of time for Nick. He did have a good victory on his debut at the Ali Pali against Dirk Telnikis and lost out to Jermaine Watermainer.
100.
Yeah, good use of the guide there from Nick Kenny. Barstow looking to set up.
99.
Switching down the board. Used to play football with Wayne Bridge back in the day. Chaz Barstow.
$81. Chaz, you require 84.
But looking for a comfortable hold, Chaz. 14 for ball. He was thinking about swerving it.
36. Nick, you require 148.
First start will dictate this shot. If it sits up in the treble 20, you'll fancy this now, Nick. That's unlucky. He'd be disappointed with that.
140. Chaz, you require 48.
Oh, Barstow misses his chance, so Kenny to hit the front here. Would be a break as well.
Game shot of the
first is a breaker throw. Nick Kenny. Well, it was a leg that looked like Barstow's to win from the word go, but Kenny applied the pressure with the double 4, and Barstow fluffs his line, so Nick Kenny gets a breaker throw, looking to avenge yesterday's defeat against Chaz Barstow.
60. 55. 91.
Good switch from Kenny. Good response from Chaz Barstow. One of these wins this game. It'll be a fairly routine, relaxed night for them, you'd think.
140.
Back-to-back 140s. Our first look at Lisa Ashton, like I said. Take on Andy Hamilton the next game.
96.
Good switch. Real Unique style, Nick Kenny. Just sort of shakes out his arm.
140.
But effective, as you saw there. Kenny moving through the gears here now.
100. Nick, you require 70.
Tops for 2-0. Unlucky
50.
bottom wire, so
require
outside chance
110.
for Barstow here. 18-10, pick your route, Charles. 10 for Tops. Missed Tops in the first leg.
Game
Not
shot
on
the
this
second
occasion.
leg.
It's a break straight
Not
back,
Barstow.
so bit of a steal in each leg. Couple of breaks a throw, but we're level at 1 apiece. Barstow very composed on that 110, and Nick Kenny had the chance to double his lead of the dart at Tops. But you'd have to say on the what we've seen so far, a fair scoreline, 1 apiece. Barstow, are we about to see our first max? We are.
180.
Barstow, perfect start to the third leg here. And just 10 matches tonight. We had 15 this afternoon, 6 people in the group this afternoon,
60.
5 tonight. 3 go through this group. So it's a favourable route through to the final for the players.
55.
Can't back it up, Chaz.
$85.
Good last one. Really good last one from Kenny, because there's a little bit of head shaking going on big in this leg. Hasn't settled, but
134.
pinched that first leg. But he's going to have to go some if he's going to pinch this leg. Can't leave a finish off the 3, 5, 6, even the max.
100. Chance to require 132.
I don't think he'd have gone for it. Treble 16 maybe, treble 20.
64.
But we'll return for the 68 for a first holder throw in this, what is the second match of the evening. Already seen a victory for Scott Walters.
60. Chance to require 68.
So 2-1 for Charles, 68. 16, it'll be 8 more than likely. Tops for 2-1.
Game shot on the third leg.
It wasn't his friend in leg
Charles
1, but
Barstow.
double top has certainly been his friend in the last couple of legs. Barstow turns a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 lead. A couple of comfortable legs. I say comfortable. He pinched the last one with the 110. It was a good finish, but that was more comfortable.
Game on.
Barstow looking to take his tally up to 8 points, consolidate his position at the top. Remember, he came into tonight top on leg difference.
96.
Couple of legs against in favour of Andy Hamilton, but Andy Hamilton lost his first match, so that gap stretched.
140. 58. 100.
Kenny, you feel, has got to hang on in there here. He goes down a break here. He'll need a couple of breaks to rescue the situation. It's a big ask. And Barstow is starting to pull away from Nick Kenny.
95.
Yeah, Barstow, like I said, only defeat was to Andy Hamilton. And even then he played well.
180.
Second match, second max of the match, I should say, for Chaz.
$96. Chance to require 81.
And under no real pressure. This is really good stuff from Barstow. 11 dart leg incoming. Take a 12.
75.
Gets a bit awkward when he comes back now.
156.
Kenny, like on the 148, this first dart is key. Yeah, and again, he couldn't follow. It was a better guide
100.
on the one on the
Chance to
148,
require
but
6.
Barstow, this ain't a gimme. Double 3 awkward. That's puts pay to this chance.
No score.
Barstow fluffs his lines. And Kenny for another steal here. 16 for tops. No, 20 for double 18. For 2 apiece. Surely. Brilliant.
Shot on the fourth leg. Nick
Another
Kenny.
steal for Nick Kenny is 2 legs. He's relied on missed doubles from Barstow, but he's been there to pounce. And Barstow had a real chance to take control of this match and take control of the group. He hasn't done it there.
Chance to throw first.
4 legs played, 2 legs apiece. Still very much game on.
$100. 96.
Here he goes again, Barstow. He's already had a couple.
140.
Can't add a third, but won't be panicking. He's got the darts. Just a couple of holes to throw, and will take his points tally up to 8. Is it first max for Nick Kenny?
140.
Not quite. He does walk a lot on that last start, Nick, but he's been very resilient here, Kenny. I don't think he's been at his best. I think he'd admit that as well, but
60.
He'll see it as a bit of a result that's 2 apiece, whereas Chaz will feel he should be on the brink of victory here. Another 19 leaves the big fish. That is even better. Good last start from Nick Kenny. He sensibly moved along the hockey. You saw that just shuffle left. Open up the bed.
96. Nick Rucar 132.
So we'll start on the ball. 25 or ball keeps the shot alive. Treble 19. Here he goes. Bullseye for a 1-3-2. Never really threatened
101.
it. Well, Barstow took a 110 in leg 2 to get the break back. Tops. No. So Kenny to move in front, and it was looking very unlikely a couple of minutes ago when it looked like he was destined to be 3-1 behind. This for the lead. Not sure how much of that you can see. Well, the answer is enough. Nick Kenny hits the front. 3-2 will now throw for the match, and Nick Kenny looked at an unlikely scenario just a couple of minutes ago. Like I said, he was well adrift in that 4th leg, but that was a good leg from the Welshman, and looking to finish the job here. Would take him up to 8 points, would take him to the top of the group.
140.
And will be satisfied with that start. Barstow will wonder how this game's got away from him. He's not done yet, but he's given himself a bit of work to do.
96. 58.
Well, gives Barstow a route back into the leg, that visit. Is it maximum number 3?
123.
Barstow, a little pause. Can't believe he didn't hit the 3rd maximum. Decent switch. Just keeps him hanging on in there. Keeps him just in front of Chaz.
97.
Chaz picking off as well. But Kenny will tell himself 6 stars to get rid of 2-2-3. He'll fancy it, even more so now. 103 remaining. He'll just stay up there.
125.
Oh, that's a flyer. And it still gives him plenty to do. 140 here really will apply pressure. That's a wild one from Barstow. Needs a treble, you feel.
45.
A cushion for Nick Kenny. 98 for a 4-2 win. Treble 18. Just a big 20 now. Yeah, stay away from that treble. Yeah, good dart. Unless Barstow can emulate Alan Tabham from this afternoon and take out a 140, it's tops for the match for Kenny, and it's not going to go. So Kenny, not at his best, but has been good enough. He's just got to finish the job. Barstow looking for the treble to apply pressure, but Kenny just be focusing, and that's not 45, massive pressure.
You require 40.
Kenny for a valuable 2 points. And that is a valuable 2 points for Nick Kenny. He was resilient in that match. It looked like Barstow was going to lead 3-1, but from there it was pretty much all Nick Kenny. 4 out of 8 on the doubles, pretty convincing, but important points for Nick Kenny. Kenny goes up to 8 and is top of the table. He's got a foot in tomorrow's final group. And coming up next, we get another look at Andy Hamilton and our first look at Lisa Ashton. third match of tonight's session. About to get underway. Our first look at Lisa Ashton. We've already seen Andy Hamilton lose out in the opening match of the night against Scott Walters. We've just seen Nick Kenny go to the top of the table. A resilient performance from the Welshman. He beat Chaz Barstow 4-2. So it's Nick Kenny out in front. He's on 8 points. Hamilton on 6. Barstow on 6. Walters on 4. Ashton yet to register a win, but more than capable of rattling through and getting 4 wins from 4 tonight. And that's what she needs. She'll be fairly relaxed about the situation. Big ask for the 4 times Ladies World Champion. Top of the Women's Series as well. She won 3 of the 4 events. The other one was won by Fallon Sherritt, but Lisa Ashton, you expect to be at the Grand Slam of Darts, the World Championship, and the inaugural Women's World Match Play to be played in Blackpool. And Ashton will start out as one of the favourites. We'll be disappointed with how her 2 years on tour went with the PDC, but there were some great scalps in there. There were some great performances, but ultimately Ashton's a winner. She wanted to stay on tour. She had a real below-par performance at the Worlds. You can see how she was disappointed, but she was really good against Adam Hunt the previous year, and at times on a debut against Jan Decker in the beginning part, played some unbelievable stuff. She had some rotten draws at the Grand Slam as well, but Ashton, whose solitary win on the big stage on TV against Aaron Beanie
46
in the PDC, but proved at times she was more than capable. But you will see plenty of Lisa this year. Live League, the seniors, like I said, the PDC Women's Series, a lot of darts for Lisa Ashton to play. So
180,
and she'll be hoping to play a lot more darts this weekend, but she's got to withstand the 180 from Andy Hamilton to kick things off. Hamilton won this match 4-1 yesterday.
Andy
Hamilton, who at times, I'd say Scott Walters, I should say, deserved to win that match, but Hamilton really had a chance in leg 5 to break and throw for the match. And
21.
Ashton unlucky with the last start there.
Good
switch. Often overlooked the achievements of Lisa Ashton, just mainly down to the impact of Fallon Sherritt, which was a fantastic achievement from Fallon, but
125, and you require 81.
Lisa's played a part as well, and them two are the standout players in terms of female dart players, and it's up to the chasing pack to maintain their level. And Andy Hamilton starts the leg well, full finish. He got off to a slow start in his earlier match, but that's better. An 81 finish, a comfortable holder throw, but yeah, like I was saying, it's up to the chasing pack to close the gap on
second leg Lisa to throw first. Game on.
Sherrick and Ashton. Lorraine Winstanley, Bo Greaves, Rhiannon O'Sullivan, amongst a few.
140.
Kuru Suzuki as well. Location not aiding her quest, but she was in the Live League last week and made a really good account of herself. Played some good stuff, so good to see.
42.
And good start from Lisa Ashton here. Needs 4 wins from 4. Real no-nonsense action from Lisa.
81.
Gives him some welly as well. It's a lot more deliberate, the Andy Hamilton action. Bit of a sighter first. But very effective. In 2011, 2012, he was one of the best players in the world, Andy Hamilton.
85.
Always in the back end of events. Back-to-back Premier League campaigns. A semi-finalist in the Premier League as well. World Championship finalist.
180.
Lisa Ashton finds a max. 1 apiece early doors, but Ashton potential 11 dart leg incoming here.
56. Lisa require 100.
No pressure for Lisa. Is it 11? She'll take 12. Yeah, really good leg. Good start from both players. Ashton with the double 10, and it was aggressive at the double 10 and 1 leg apiece. Hamilton held, Ashton holds, and there's a bit of pressure on both. Hamilton has to win this game, and he's got off to a really ropey start. Ashton obviously needs the 4 wins, so both players, you'd expect to feel a bit of pressure, but it's a bright start.
$99. 81. 78.
Good switch. There's a little opening there for Ashton if he hadn't found that switch. Good last one from Lisa. A bit wild the first one, but first couple, but finds a way to the treble 20. Lisa's best average of the day yesterday actually came against Andy Hamilton. It was in defeat 4-1.
58.
But there's an opening here, and already looks a lot more comfortable than she did at any time in last evening's session.
97.
Good switch. Hamilton needs to find a treble, doesn't? Ashton, who held in 12 darts. She ain't going to break in 12, but she's putting herself in a great position here.
140.
Great visit. She's asking the questions, Lisa Ashton. She's in a real tough group at the Grand Slam, the year just gone.
82.
Michael Van Gogh, Joe Cullen and John Henderson, and didn't play like she can. And I do like her reactions when she loses. You often see it sometimes with the female players, just a bit
65.
A bit smiley, taking it. I think
126.
Ashton's a winner. She takes it hard, and I like that. When she suffers defeat, like she did against Ron Mullenkamp at the Worlds, she expects to win.
54. Lisa require 18.
For the break and a 2-1 lead. That is the 2-1 lead. First break of the match. Lisa Ashton leads in a game she has to win. But first part of the job done. Gets a breaker throw, something to work with. But Hamilton has made a slow start today, and he's playing the bottom two players in an opening two games. If he comes up dry, his place in the top three may be under threat.
$59. 100.
Hamilton can't find the second treble. Tabletopper Nick Kenny up next against Scott Walters. Kenny in a great position. He's got the darts in that match as well. So victory will seal Kenny's spot in tomorrow's final.
$96.
Hamilton is giving himself plenty of work to do.
$123.
Unlucky. This is better from Andy. Switch to the 18s.
124.
Well, it was the right ploy, the execution not there.
$137.
Brilliant switch. And Ashton will get a shot for 3-1 here. Staying up there, make over the ball. No, stays up there, so pressure on the 82. Good response from Andy. 15 for ball. We've seen Scott Walters do this for the first leg of the night. He went 15 for bullseye and ball for Lisa. And she can't repeat
45.
the feat.
And you require
So
41.
Hamilton to break back. Brilliant.
The fourth leg.
Credit to Andy Hamilton there, because he looked like he was going to be 3-1 behind, and he's in a pressure little situation, Andy Hamilton. Pressure he's kind of brought on himself, but responds with a tidy finish to level up the match at 2 legs apiece, and he becomes favourite for the match again. He has the advantage of throwing first if we go to a deciding leg.
$93. 100. $57.
Can't find a treble. Ashton had a dart ball for a 3-1 lead.
100.
They've exchanged breaks, they've exchanged holds, and we arrive at a scoreline of 2 apiece. Hamilton just starting to up. He had a 180 in the open leg of the match. Finds another 180 here.
$100.
Hamilton can set up the 171. Andy Hamilton, whose finest hour was that run to the World Championship in 2012. Ran out of steam against Adrian Lewis, but there was victories over Antonio Alcinas, Vincent van der Voort, Dave Chisnell, Kim Hybrex, Simon Whitlock. He was in incredible form. He did a real job on Dave Chisnell as well.
100. And he requires 74.
Treble 18, treble 14, 20 for tops, 4-3-2 for the hammer.
$34.
And lucky.
Rukar 101.
Ashton, 101, 4-3-2. Can't forge out the
69.
opportunity. And
Andy require 40.
Hamilton to move in front. Had darts to lead 3-2 against Scott Walters. Didn't take them. Will he on this occasion? Double 10. Lisa's lurking. Forget it, Lisa. Hamilton leads 3-2. Big leg for Andy Hamilton. Needs the win here. Slow start against Scott Walters, but he's on the brink of picking up his first 2 points. Will take him up to 8. Still work to do, but putting himself in a good position, Andy Hamilton.
Game on. $96. $135.
And Andy Hamilton, you often see that one. He's very deliberate with some darts, but the last one he just sort of lobs, and it's very effective at times. We saw it there.
100.
Lisa Ashton, the same stable as Dave Chisnell.
56.
Their manager, Roger, will be cheering on Lisa here, but she's got work to do, and even more so now.
24.
Can't rescue the last one. Andy Hamilton will be keen to get the job done here. 4-2 scoreline as well. Just helps the legs a little bit. Gives you that extra buffer.
$96.
I actually thought Andy Hamilton was a great shout to win the group tonight. Great value. But he's given himself work to do. with Nick Kenny and Chaz Barstow, the top two still to play.
36.
But you can argue it's in his own hands. He beats them too. He will finish top of the group. But Lisa Ashton's last 6 starts have been a worse 6 starts of the match. She's played some good stuff here, but ultimately it looks like it's going to end in a 5th consecutive defeat in Group B. And will as good as end her hopes of making it through to tomorrow's final group. Hamilton to finish the job. Two darts, double 16, and there's no pressure. One more.
Game shot on the
and
match.
That is
Andy
the job
Hamilton.
done for Andy Hamilton. Takes him up to 8 points. More misery for Lisa Ashton, but she played some good stuff there. Had darts for 3-1, but from there it was all Andy Hamilton. A couple of 180s in there as well for the hammer, 2 for Lisa as well. But it's Hamilton who gets the win. A much needed win, 4-2. He takes his tally up to 8 points. We've got Nick Kenny coming up next, who's top of the table, and he takes on Scott Walters. Table topper Nick Kenny about to resume his campaign here in Group B with a quest to make it to the final tomorrow. He's almost there. Victory here would seal the deal. But Scott Walters, who came into tonight with an outside chance on 2 points, well, he doubled his points tally with victory in the opening match of the night, and he's given himself a real chance. Got to win here, and it would take him level with Chaz Barstow. Hamilton just winning there takes him on to 8 points. Lisa Ashton, unfortunately, long shot now, no wins from 5. It's going to take a real turnaround for Lisa to progress. But Scott Walters gave himself
First leg, it's Nick
a real big opportunity with victory over Andy Hamilton. But Nick Kenny was far from his best, but showed his quality to rattle off 3 successive legs to defeat Chaz Barstow. And he's got 1 foot in tomorrow's final. Victory here would do it.
140.
Would put him on to 10 points. And would pull him 6 points away from Scott Walters, who's in 4th spot. So
85.
Could not be caught. Doesn't mean he'll finish top, but would book his spot in tomorrow's final.
$60.
And Kenny, I'm sure, will be aware of the permutations. I don't think players are overly concerned about the order in which they get through. They just want to get through. It looked like it was going to be a formality for Barstow, Hamilton and Kenny tonight. It may have been if Hamilton had beaten Scott Walters, but that Walters victory just keeps the group interesting.
93.
Walters on 4, Hamilton on 8. As I said, Barstow on 6. Barstow up next against Lisa Ashton.
100.
A Kenny victory here. And a Barstow win in the next game. And it's all but done and dusted in the group.
140. 95. Nick, you require 68. 52.
Unlucky.
Scott, you require 138.
Saw this from Peter Jakes, who agonisingly missed out on his spot in tomorrow's
98.
final.
Nick, you require
Osborne
16.
got there in the end. Ozzy, the wizard. I call him Colin. But anyway, Nick Kenny. Oh, stuttering here.
No score.
Oh,
Scott,
look
you
at that.
require 40.
And a leg that was pretty much, look, Nick Kenny's all the
Being
way,
shown in
has
the
been
first
stolen,
leg.
and Scott Walters
Walters.
making a good fist of this today. Break a throw in the opening leg. And Walters, who just underperformed yesterday, is running average around about 77, but he's already improved on that
Second
today.
leg stop to throw
Looks a lot
first.
more
Game
comfortable tonight as well. Maybe just the expectancy's not there, but he will still pressure himself. He still
83.
believed he could get through, and very much in the equation, Scott.
on. 59. 100.
Steady. Barstow and Ashton, as I said, up next. That'll bring us to the halfway stage. 10 matches tonight. Top 3 advance to the group tomorrow.
140.
Format tomorrow. 2 groups of 3. Top 2 go through. 1 plays 2. 1 winner of Group A plays winner of Group B. Vice versa. And then there's the semi-finals. And the top 3 of the night, so the winner, the runner-up, and the winner of that 3rd and 4th place playoffs will advance to the Champions Group,
57.
which already features Dan Reed, James Richardson, Paul Hogan, Mike Warburton, Robert Owen, Lee Evans, Adam Smith-Neal, Matthew Dennett, and Richard North.
87.
It's not a typo. Richard North has found his way through to the final group. Oh, Northy lad. 3 more players will make up that group. Phase 1 was won by Jim McEwen. Jim McEwen had an agonising exit from the WDF World Championship today. Led 3-0, lost 4-3. But some positive displays from Jim.
105.
We've seen Richard Veenstra advance as well. And Thibaut
81.
Tricol.
Scott, you require 14.
Semi-finals will be completed tomorrow. Walters for 2-0. And
Game
that
shot
is
on the
2-0.
second
That's
leg.
really
Scott
tidy.
Walters.
No panic there from Walters. Last leg on double 2. You'd expect a bit of nerves, but straight at it, he doubles his lead and threatening to turn this group on its head. Walters, who wouldn't have expected much from himself tonight, but he's made a bright start. 4-3 victory over Hamilton. Leading 2-0 here. Kenny blew the first leg. He'd be feeling it here.
58.
I think Barstow, Hamilton and Kenny just in a bit of a rush to get it done. They've got time tonight. They just want the victories, and which is fair enough, but
100.
just got to focus on the game in hand that they've got. Looking too far ahead, maybe.
99. 38. 56.
Walters, the leg difference at the start of the night was -5.
87.
It's obviously -4 now because he won his first game 4-3. But if he can clean sweep here, he's dragging players into this.
140.
A really solid action, Walters, and there's more evidence.
148.
Walters, 2 legs up, and is going to get a shot at 96 for the 3-leg lead.
60.
First max of the match, that was. And it teed up the 96. Will he go double-double, or will he just go on top?
80.
Lucky, I couldn't
Nick
quite make
McGrath,
out if that was
80.
in. Well, there's the evidence that it was. And Kenny, 18 for the ball. Didn't even entertain it. Walters can't look. Well,
41.
you can look now, Scott, because you're going to get 3 darts for a 3-leg lead. And this is what caused all the problems with Nick Kenny in leg 1, and it was similar to this. Couldn't find his way in.
No score.
And neither can Walters.
Nick
Let
McGrath,
off. Look at that.
47.
Great camera angle of just how close Kenny was. Sorry, Scott Walters was, but Kenny to half the deficit. Let off here. Good finish.
On the third leg.
Let
Nick
off
Kenny.
the hook. Walters will be kicking himself. That was a big chance to be 3-0 in front. But Nick Kenny now within touching distance, and Walters was in the background shaking his head there. He knows he's missed a trick. He's still got the breaker throw in hand, but it could be a lot more convincing. And again, the leg difference, which may come into play for Scott Walters, but first and foremost, he'll just targeted 4 wins tonight to give himself the best opportunities of progressing.
$140. 83. 60.
Can Walters bounce back for the disappointment of that
83.
last leg? Still got a lead. Still got a breaker throw. But never easy being up there. He's still chuntering away to himself, but just got to keep a lid on his emotions, Scott. He's played some good stuff tonight.
45.
Got a lead here.
81.
Good one over the top from Scott. Keeping himself involved in the group. He was as good as done had he lost his first match against Hamilton.
60. Scott Ricard, 155.
Unlucky. 76 remaining. He'll go back up for a treble 20, I'm sure.
94.
So Kenny can pressure that 61. Walters being a bit hard on himself again. It was good, just slipping into the 5, easily done, but has the chance. 25 or treble 15, treble 7. Loads of options with 61. Tops for 3-1. It is
Game shown
3-1.
on the fourth leg.
Good
Scott
regrouping
Walters.
there from Scott Walters, because he's been very hard on himself in that leg, but managed to pick off the tops of the 61, 3-1. And Scott Walters could be starting the campaign tonight with back-to-back wins. He's still got
This leg
Ashton and
Nick to throw
Barstow to
first.
play, so
Game
he's
on.
still well and truly in the mix, Scott Walters. Got to finish the job here first, though.
$59. 80.
Lucky with that one. Nick Kenny, who recovered from 2-1 down to win 4-2 against Chaz Barstow
100.
with 3 consecutive legs. He needs 3 consecutive legs here as well.
41.
Well, he's been given a little cushion here, but we'll have to find a break. Scott Walters, who threw for the match in the design leg, is Andy Hamilton and did it with relative ease. So
45.
we'll be looking to avoid that here, though.
60. 57.
No treble. He's making heavy weather, this Nick Kenny. And it's all stemmed from that leg, the opening leg, which he should have won comfortably. Missed darts at
60.
double 8. And hasn't managed to get to grips with the tie. His average dipping below 80 now, Nick Kenny. That's better.
66.
It'd be disappointing that Scott, the treble, accompanied by a 1 and a 5.
Game shown
That's
on the
tidy,
fifth
really
leg.
tidy from Nick Kenny. And keeps himself in this tie. Has to find a break of the Scott Walters throw. Scott Walters throwing for the match. He threw for the match and convincingly got the job done against Andy Hamilton. He throws for the match here.
Scott to throw first. Game on.
It's a big leg incoming for Scott Walters, and
32.
that opening visit will just perk up the ears of Nick Kenny.
100.
Steady away. These are massive moments for Scott Walters.
83. 100.
Back-to-back tons for Nick Kenny. Needs to win the leg, looking to emulate what he did against Chaz Barstow, 3 consecutive legs to recover to win a match.
43.
Does it here. Books his place in the next round. Say the next round, the final group tomorrow. And going the right way about it. Taking control of the leg. He's got 6 starts at 164 as well. Because no matter what Scott Walters does here, he will not leave a finish. But that just keeps him in touch. But he was neat and tidy at the back end of the previous leg, Nick Kenny. 77, treble 17.
94.
70 remaining. Walters needs to apply some pressure. But it's out of his hands now.
83. Nick requires 70.
Kenny for 3 apiece. Double 14. Really neat and tidy again from Nick Kenny. This is a great run of legs for Nick Kenny. 2 on the bounce, but it's been very tidy at the back end. It was very untidy in the opening leg of the match, but it's 3 legs apiece. Nick Kenny's got the darts to ensure his passage into the final group tomorrow. Doesn't guarantee top spot, but it
95.
gives him a 6-point buffer between him and 4th spot, which is occupied by Scott Walters.
140.
It doesn't end Scott Walters' chances, but it gives him a lot to do, and a Barstow victory next against Ashton, if Nick Kenny finishes the job here, will virtually eliminate
59.
Scott Walters. But Walters has made a good start to this leg. Let's not write him off yet.
100.
Just a turn for Nick Kenny. Can I get in the middle?
38.
No. Opening for Kenny to finish the job. I say finish the job. Set up. Just steadying himself. Getting a little bit edgy, Nick.
40.
Can't pick anything off. Look at this for timing from Scott.
139.
We'll get a shot at 84, and it would be back-to-back 4-3 victories. Kenny can't complete the turnaround.
83.
If
Scott
Walters
84.
gets rid of his 84. 2 darts. Great guide, surely.
72.
Oh, Walters
Nick
offers
Ricard,
Kenny the opportunity.
124.
Treble 18. Can't go, so 3 more match darts coming in for Scott Walters.
55. Scott Ricard 12.
Double 6. And
Game
that is
shot on the match,
back-to-back
Scott
victories for
Walters.
Scott Walters. He's still well and truly in the mix. Nick Kenny hasn't booked his passage through to the final group yet. Great effort from Walters. Didn't play as well as in the first match, and the finishing stats not great, but he was clinical at the back end there. And credit to Scott, it's 2 wins from 2 to keep himself in the mix. And coming up, we've got Chaz Barstow taking on Lisa Ashton. the halfway point now and still none the wiser who will be going through this group. And that is mainly down to the impact Scott Walters has made tonight. He's won both his matches to really put a spanner in the works. It was looking like it was just going to be a formality of Andy Hamilton, Chaz Barstow and Nick Kenny advancing through. It's still in their favour, but Scott Walters has defeated Nick Kenny and defeated Andy Hamilton to get himself up to 6 points. He's now level with Chaz. Kenny and Hamilton both on 8 points, but this is Chaz's game in hand. There's the group. Barstow will go into 8. And it's the leg difference that still could hamper Scott Walters. Ashton will not be going through to the final group tomorrow, but it's tight.
First leg is Lisa.
And you have to say that's credit to the performance of Scott Walters. Came here with a good attitude today, and back to back 4-3 victories. Puts him in the mix.
45.
Barstow was the standout performance of last night in this corresponding fixture. 105 average and beating Lisa Ashton 4-1.
140.
Finds a 10-40 to start the match. Ashton, who had darts to lead Andy Hamilton 3-1 in her opening match of the day, went on to eventually lose that match 4-2, but Barstow will probably think how he lost that match against Kenny. Particularly the fourth leg went against him. He should have been 3-1 up, and from there, credit to Nick Kenny, he was good, and he almost completed a turnaround on Scott Walters there, couldn't do it. And that still means Nick Kenny hasn't guaranteed his place in the next round. The final group tomorrow.
124.
Chaz Osborne, Colin Osborne, Josh Payne and Kieran Tian. It won't have Lisa Ashton, unfortunately. Will it have Chaz Barstow? Good setup play.
78.
Ashton no first to a finish. Treble 18. 25 for ball. Got to be now. All a bit messy for Lisa. She teed up the leg really well. Frustration.
Chaz require 40.
And Chaz was waiting in. And he used that guide. Does. Barstow wins the opening leg. And a tidy leg, a breaker throw as well for Chaz, 14 darts, and he is off and running in this fifth match of the day. Looking to go tied at the top with Andy Hamilton and Nick Kenny on 8 points. Barstow would still have Scott Walters and Andy Hamilton to play.
140.
And even though he lost that opening game, it was just a bit of a blip for Barstow. I still think he'd be okay with how he played. Just made a bit of a mess
41.
of it.
80. 55. 180.
First max of the match for Chaz. He hit 2 in his opening game. Well, he finds one early doors here, and this
140.
is an incredible start to the match from Chaz. 12 darter, maybe.
81.
Not to be, but got a real cushion over Lisa in this leg.
171.
Great setup from Lisa, but it may be too little too late. It is too little too late. 13 dart leg from Barstow, and this is an explosive start from the man from Winchester. Doubles his lead in double quick time. Looking to go level at the top of the table with Nick Kenny and Andy Hamilton on 8 points.
To throw first. Game on. $133.
Lisa hit 5 consecutive treble 19s there. Couldn't pick the 6 if you count the ones at the back end of the leg. A change of tack, then an effective change of tactics from Lisa.
140.
Yeah, why not?
133.
Brilliant. I like it. See it a lot from Madas Razma on the main tour. The Latvian made the final the other week, a third final, yet to get that win.
137. 95.
Lisa setting a potential 12 dart of her own here. But Barstow is not giving Lisa a leg off. Lisa's playing well here.
84. Lisa require 140.
I'll be really hard done by if she doesn't close this leg out. Having to go back up the top now.
60. Chance to require 140.
Good
Lisa
setup.
require 80.
Brilliant from Barstow. 14 and 13 darts. It could add another 13 if Lisa. She has to bring a fifth. Good dart. Good recovery. Double 10. Brilliant from Lisa Ashton. Deserves a leg. Gets a leg. Halves the deficit. Barstow was waiting in the wings to open up a 3-leg gap, but Ashton tidied up really well on that 65 after deviating into the treble 5. Good hold from Lisa Ashton, and that change of tactic on treble 19 has paid off. Still a breakdown, but still well and truly in this tie, Lisa.
$45. 140.
Can't find a second max, but pulling himself away in the leg. Barstow average up above 110.
59.
Ashton down in the low 90s, but
140.
Barstow finds a back-to-back 140s, and Barstow saved his best performance for Lisa Ashton yesterday. He's doing it again here.
140. Just require 123.
Ashton will keep chipping away.
$57. 60.
Time on the
Just
66.
66.
Barstow, 3-1. It's in. Just double checking. It is in, Chaz. 2 at double 18, and Ashton is not on a finish, so yeah, comfortable. And this is really clinical stuff from Chaz Barstow. 3-1 he leads now. Tidy 66 finish. 1 leg away from going joint with Nick Kenny and Amby Hamilton on 8 points. And it's Ashton now throwing, but she needs a similar turnaround to Nick Kenny, who had against Barstow earlier. He rattled off 3 legs to clinch victory. Ashton needs to do something similar if she's going to register her first points in Group B.
$96.
Very, very clinical from Chaz. Lisa's average up above 95 now. Chaz still above 110. And Ashton isn't out of it. It's only 1 breaker throw down. She's got to hold here first.
96. 58.
Lisa, who will be in the seniors at the end of May. Lost out to Terry Jenkins in the inaugural World Seniors Championship, which was won by Robert Thornton. Robert Thornton and Martin Adams can test that fine. We see them quite often on the online live league.
137.
Barstow back on 192, and Ashton looking to tied up 66, just like Chaz did in the previous leg.
66.
To force Barstow to throw out for victory. Tops for Lisa. Really tidy.
Lisa
and keeps it in with a chance here. Only 1 breaker throw behind, but that break has to come now. Otherwise, Barstow will clinch his first victory of the evening.
6-leg chance to throw first. Game on.
It's been a real good tie. Barstow has the advantage of throwing first. Is it a 180 to start? It is. Second max of the match for Chaz Barstow.
$39.
And gives himself that cushion. A bit of room for manoeuvre now for Barstow. Hang about. Little grimace, but
100.
he take that. 6 darts thrown, 2-2-1. A big cushion over Lisa now.
59. 57.
And Nick Kenny and Andy Hamilton coming in next. The winner of that group game will confirm their place in tomorrow's final group. But
121.
all
Chelsea
three
record
players who started the night on 6
164.
points, Barstow, Hamilton and Nick Kenny, would have hoped to have done it a little easier than they've done so far. 1 win from 2 for all of them will be satisfactory, but still yet to have a player confirmed into the final of the group. Ashton looking to stay in touch, but it's Barstow to close out victory. 4-4, 2-2. Still,
64.
Ashton not out of this yet. A turn here, and Barstow won't relish coming back for 2-2. She's done this already in the match. She's done it again. Now there's pressure. Over to you, Chaz. Started the leg with a maximum. Now then, nerves for Chaz Barstow.
2.
And he
12.
has wilted. And Ashton, with that 1-7-1, forced the error. And Ashton levels up the match, 3 apiece. Brilliant setup play from Lisa Ashton with a 1-7-1. Barstow, we thought was going to run away with it. Had a 200-plus lead in that match, in that leg at some point. But Ashton closes it in, and she is clinical. She's got the darts to register her first win in Group B.
57.
Barstow will be thinking, what have I done? When you're thrown for the match and you start off with the match, you expect to finish the job.
96.
He's got to do it all again now.
133.
Good switch. He's in again, no Chaz. Third maximum of the match, Barstow responding.
58.
He really gave it some against Michael Van Gerwen when he played him in the World Championship. Levelled up at a set piece, Chaz Barstow. So he levelled up a set piece. Took a 1 set lead, didn't he? Then Michael Van Gerwen went through the gears and fortunately had to withdraw the round after a positive COVID test.
58. Chaz
will get more chances to win this match here. Not on this visit, but he's making a mess here.
41.
Making a real mess. He shouldn't have stayed up there. Ashton will opt for those 3 treble 19s again. Not as effective this time. No.
33.
And that's a poor shot from Lisa, and she knows it. Letting Chaz off the hook. Tops to finish it. Still
79.
not done. But Ashton, the setup play wasn't great. And we'll just hope that Chaz flips his lines again. Otherwise, it'll be a 6 straight defeat for Ashton
94.
in Group B.
Chaz require 20.
And she's been very unfortunate here. But again, Barstow finds a way, gets there in the end. Barstow wins 4-3, joins Andy Hamilton and Nick Kenny on 8 points at the top of the group. And look at the average for Chaz Barstow, 101 saves, his best performance for Lisa yet again. Good performance from Lisa as well. 100% on the doubles, Lisa. A couple of 1-7-1s in there, but unfortunately just falls up short. Barstow wins by 4 legs to 3. It's Nick Kenny and Andy Hamilton coming up in a few moments' time. diving into the second half of tonight's action. Just seen Chaz Barstow register his first points of the evening in what was a quality affair with Lisa Ashton. Got there in the end. Fluffed some match darts, but finally got over the line, Chaz Barstow. And he is tied on 8 points with these two gentlemen, Nick Kenny and Andy Hamilton, both on 8 points. It's Barstow who's top, but the leg difference pretty healthy. Still a lot of work for Scott Walters to do. Set out tonight wanting to win 4 from 4, but he's won 2 from 2. He's got Ashton and Barstow left to play. The winner here will as good as book their spot in the next round. Hamilton, who lost to Walters, beat Ashton. Kenny also lost to Walters, but beat Barstow. So, penultimate match for these two campaign tonight.
First leg is Andy to throw first.
And Hamilton with the advantage of throwing first in what is our 6th match of the evening. Scott Walters and Lisa Ashton follow this. Then it's Andy Hamilton versus Chaz Barstow, Lisa Ashton versus Nick Kenny. And we cap things off with Chaz against Scott Walters. How big a match could that be? And we're still none the wiser who's joining. Josh Payne, Colin Osborne and Kieran Tian. Both players could have made it a lot easier for themselves. Hamilton had chances to open up a good lead on Scott Walters, didn't take them. Walters took his chance. And Kenny threw for the match against Scott Walters, but couldn't make it pay. And it's been a very resilient
42
evening for Walters. But don't think just because in the next match he's playing a winless Lisa Ashton Group B. There's been some positive performances from Lisa, particularly tonight. Could have led 3-1 against Andy Hamilton. And the treble 19 hitting against Chaz Barstow was ridiculous at times. But Ashton, unfortunately, for all her efforts, hasn't picked up any points tonight. But better performances and could still have her say in who goes through. She won't be going through, obviously. But with matches still against Scott Walters and Nick Kenny, she could impact the final table at the end of proceedings this evening.
$81. $100.
Let's go for the ball, the last one, Kenny. But 120 for Andy Hamilton. Shanghai, treble 20, single 20, double top. Is it a call for ball bully? No, shuffling along. Man, that's not a good visit. And the setup's not going to be brilliant. Opening for Nick Kenny.
108.
Stay down there. 32. Unlucky.
92. Andy
Kenny,
76.
who never really recovered from missing doubles in the opening leg against Scott Walters. Will he be given another chance here against Andy Hamilton? Double 18. Open bed and pins the double 18. Andy Hamilton dodges a dart from Nick Kenny to break the throw, but that's a really tidy finish from Andy. Opted into for the 20 for double 18 for an open bed. Had he gone 16 for tops, it could have been awkward, but it's Hamilton who strikes first in his top of the table clash.
$97. $89. $96.
Decent. Switching from Nick. Just got to stay focused. Hasn't played like he can today, Nick Kenny. he's having to just grind his way through matches, but we'll be satisfied with one win from 2. But obviously, there's always that element of disappointment because he threw for the match that he actually lost. So can he get back to winning ways here against Andy Hamilton? Good couple of darts tucked in the corner there for Nick.
$54. $90.
Picks off the last treble 17. Kenny should hold from here. Had a dart to break in the opening leg on the 108 combination. Well, we should be a bit more straightforward here because Hamilton isn't going to leave a finish. No pressure for Nick.
60. Nick, you require 78.
Really good finish from Nick Kenny. He used that treble 14 earlier on the 70 combination to go treble double. This time it's on 78. Comfortable on that side of the board as he is there. And Kenny comfortably levels up this match at 1 leg apiece. Walters and Ashton coming up next, as I said. Players bidding to join in the final group tomorrow. And then from there, bidding to join the Champions Week, which features Dan Reed, Mike Warburton, Adam Smith-Neal, Matthew Dennett, Robert Owen, James Richardson, Paul Hogan, Lee Evans, Richard North. Nicknamed Northie.
$100.
Now, both players will know this could make the rest of their evening a bit more comfortable.
$77.
But they've not been at it tonight, these two. They've played well in spells, but can play a lot better.
91.
And Josh Payne, who qualified by winning Group A. Kieran Tian won Group C. Runner-up Colin Osborne.
140.
Good turnaround from Kieran Tian today because he lost his first 2 matches, but played well. And one to watch Kieran. He got through the playoffs for the World Championship on the same day this gentleman did, Nick Kenny, a few years ago. Tian beat Joe Mernon.
97.
Jamie Lewis came through that as well. He beat Robert Thornton. Brilliant.
180.
All side by side, and Andy Hamilton fires in the first max of match number 6 of 10 tonight. And Hamilton knows he doesn't need to find a break. Kenny does. Kenny's already had one little opening.
81. Andy requires 72.
May not get one here. 72 for a 2-1 lead. Double 12.
$60.
Can't find the double
Nick
12.
require 132.
He'll stay there. There's plenty to look at. Unlucky. It's the right
92.
shot.
And you require 12.
Depending on how the first start land, you see players revert to the treble 14, but that was definitely the right tactic from Nick Kenny. Just couldn't find the target. Hamilton for 2-1. Still Hamilton for 2-1. Well.
Nick, you require 40.
Look at the frustration. Kenny ready to pounce. Tops for the lead and a break. That is a breaker throw. Nick Kenny had a dart to break in the opening leg of the match. Didn't, but he's clinical on that occasion. And good setup play off the 1-3-2. He pounces on errors from Andy Hamilton. 3 missed a double 6. And it's Kenny in the ascendancy. 2-1 he leads.
$140.
And a good start to the 4th leg from Nick Kenny. We'll be looking to join fellow Welshmen in the Champions Group, Robert Owen and Michael Warburton.
46.
Michael Warburton, who made it okay account himself at the World Championship. I know he'd be disappointed. He knows he can do better. I know he can do better, but there was a victory in there over Davy Prinz, and he just fell to Jim
60.
McEwen. But we'll be seeing more of Michael Warburton in the Champions Group next week. Nickname Warby. Come on, lad.
84. $60. $96.
Hamilton just looking to regroup. Just got to forget that previous leg. Easier said than done, but
100.
Kenny moves himself down to a finish and giving himself a 2-leg buffer here.
$85. Nicky Ducar, 141.
And time with the 1-4-1 for Nick.
58.
Would have liked to left it handier. Hamilton knows a 140. He'll take a ton. And just to pressure that 83 of Nick Kenny. Good switch in from Andy.
92. Nicky Ducar, 83.
So Kenny for the 3-1 lead. Beat Barstow, lost to Walters. Can he put himself in a great position against Hamilton? Only just stays in the 16. But that is smack in the middle of the ball. Well, not quite smack in the middle, but it's a great finish from Nick Kenny. There we see, only just in the 16, but a good dart at the bullseye. 3-1, Nick Kenny now leads.
Andy to throw first. Game on.
Looking to inflict the 2nd defeat of the night on Andy Hamilton. And to do the double over Andy Hamilton. He beat Andy last night 4-3. Well, you won't want the drama of a last leg here.
81.
Hamilton, no, there's just been too many loose darts. Not just this game, but tonight. Knows he can play better. Good last one. I said that earlier on. He's got that very deliberate action, Andy, but you often see he doesn't use it on the last dart, just forces it through, and he did that there.
$29. $90.
Last one from Andy. Got to make Nick Kenny throw out this match. And got a commanding lead here. It's looking like Kenny's going to need that 6th leg, but will have the darts.
100.
Hammer just looking to tee up. He was on 190 in the previous leg and left 98, but Kenny got rid of the 83. Well, Kenny hasn't got that luxury this time.
41.
But Hamilton offering Kenny a way back into the leg.
60. Andy Ricard 149.
Just 60. So Hamilton got time and plenty of it.
84.
Loose last start. Even if he stays in the 16, he returns for 16 for tops. Still got a bit of work to do, but Kenny just hasn't hit anything really in this leg. Anything of note.
89. Andy Ricard 65.
Does get himself down a finish, but Hamilton, 25. Often the case, you do this and you hit the ball. No, ignores it. Treble 11. Tops. Fall
45.
short, so outside chance for Nick Kenny.
42.
Couple of treble 20s with double 11. Or maybe a couple of treble 17s.
$62. Andy Ricard 20.
Andy missed double 6 the last time he was on throw. Similar part of the board. Can he pin the double 10? Well, there's the double 6. Don't need it, Andy. Double 4 now. Just double checking. He was cruising this leg, Andy Hamilton. There's pressure on this dart. And he's
12.
not up to the challenge. Very untidy on the outer rim, Andy Hamilton. And Kenny should get one match dart minimum here. And it's going to be at tops. Should be at tops. Moving back the other way, maybe. Yeah, he was just rethinking. It's not great. But 6 darts ago, he wasn't even in the leg. Now, this is for the match. What a steal from Nick Kenny. A big victory for Nick Kenny. Missed doubles from Andy Hamilton. But Kenny is as good as in the final group tomorrow. Untidy and not one of the best performances from Andy Hamilton. There we see 9 darts, missed the doubles. He knows where he went wrong there. But Kenny, that was his strong point. 4 out of 5 on the doubles. And he takes his tally up to 10 points. He's top of the table. Coming up next, Scott Walters still in with a fighting chance. Taking on Lisa Ashton. Walters up next. Came into the evening with a real mountain to climb to get himself through into the final group tomorrow. He's still got a bit to do, but he's given himself the best chance. 2-4-3 wins against Andy Hamilton and Nick Kenny. And there we see he's in striking distance. He realistically has to win the next 2 games because his leg difference ain't the best. But takes on Lisa Ashton, who's yet to pick up a win. His final match is the final match of the session against Chaz Barstow. Nick Kenny is as good as there. But Scott Walter been impressed with him tonight. Needed victories, and from the outset, a statement of intent. Got the job done against Hamilton, got the job done against Kenny. He had the darts against Hamilton, he was against the darts against Nick Kenny, but found the break in the decider. Well, he's going to have to find a break at some point here against Lisa. And don't be fooled by that points tally of Lisa Ashton. There's been no wins, but there's been good performances tonight from Lisa.
100.
But just not managing to find that extra gear to get victories, which Scott has done tonight.
140. 100.
4 turns to start the match.
100.
Make that 5.
$45.
Come on, Scott. Ruined it. Ashton, who had a little change of tactic in the match, and it was down the bottom of the board here.
58.
With effect. Not happening there, but down to a finish of 143.
140. Lisa Car 143.
Hamilton. Barstow will be hoping for the Lisa Ashton victory just to
59.
give them a bit more wriggle room.
116.
19 for tops for a breaker throw for Scott.
96.
His solitary victory was against Lisa Ashton last night. That was by 4 legs to 2. Ashton, 81. 51 for double.
50. Scott Car 20.
Leaves 34. I think she's got a
Game
bit
shown
confused
the
there,
first
but
leg, Scott
regardless,
Walters.
Scott Walters finds an immediate breaker throw, and is he going to continue that purple patch? He won his opening 2 games, and he's got a breaker throw in his 3rd match of the evening. It could be a very interesting match with Chaz Barstow to conclude proceedings tonight. That is our 10th and final game. Been a great rally
100.
from Scott Walters tonight. Big game for Andy Hamilton coming up next. He loses to Chaz
79.
Barstow. He'll then need a favour from Chaz Barstow in the final game. So it's in the balance. But then Hamilton beats Barstow. Barstow is as good as that. Well, he is. It's winner goes through between him and Scott. Delicately poised Group B. All look plain sailing coming in. You just expected Hamilton, Kenny and Barstow to advance to join Osborne, Tian and Payne.
99. 98. 81. 44. Scott Car 140. 100.
Good setup play from Scott Walters. He's doing the right things at the right time tonight. It's been sensible darts from Scott Walters tonight.
60. Scott Car 40.
'Up for double 5.
35.
Well, they went sensible darts.
125.
A real mess, that last one. I think he'd arrive at it going to the 20. Bust his score. He's coming back for 5. But it's going to be with
85.
Ashton waiting on
Scott
tops.
5.
1 for double 2. Double 2 for Walters for 2-0. Up for double 1.
Game
Brilliant
shot on the
last start.
second leg.
He'd have felt it there, Scott Walters, but gets there in the end. Made a mess of the 40 to leave 5, but tidies up and doubles his lead over Lisa Ashton. Ashton still searching for the first points in Group B, but Scott Walters looking to climb to 8 points. He started the night on 2. It would be a third consecutive victory. Would tie him in third place
100.
with Andy Hamilton. And if he can get these couple of legs, the leg difference is going in the right direction as well for Scott.
100. 58. 100.
Good last one. He's been hard on himself at times tonight, Scott
57.
Walters, but it hasn't been to the detriment of his form. He's managed to find ways to win. He's finding a way here.
43.
Can't sneak a treble in there. So, slender advantage over Lisa Ashton. We see that tactic of changing again.
95.
And with a little bit of effect. 1 treble 19 on the combo.
$132.
Switch to the treble 18. Went in a treble 4, but 126. Not the worst finish. Can stay. We'll start down here as Lisa is here.
133. Scott Lucar,
Effective on the treble 19 again. But he should get a dart here. Bullseye. Unlucky.
101. Lisa Lucar, 58.
We saw Kenny pin a ball on an 83 combination in the previous match. Ashton for tops. Double 10.
38.
Just not happening for
Scott
Lisa.
Lucar, 25.
And Scott Walters. Again, only just finding the big number,
Game
but
shot on the
finding
third
the
leg.
double. That
Scott
is
Walters.
3-0. Scott Walters, that's a double break. And is well on his way to levelling himself up on points with Andy Hamilton and Chaz Barstow. He's in a commanding position in this match.
Fourth leg,
Walters
Scott to throw
throws
first.
for a
Game on.
4-0 win. Would be our first whitewash of the evening as well.
40. 58. 97.
Can Walters finish the job?
45. 134.
switching from Scott. And got a commanding lead. Putting himself well and truly in the mix for qualification.
95.
Ashton just struggling to get darts at the board there. Walters, though. Here he goes again. This has been impressive. Brilliant from Scott Walters.
180.
And we'll look to finish the job. Ashton will leave a finish. And it's another 171. And we've seen a couple of them already for Lisa Ashton, but it's probably too little too late. Applauded by Scott Walters, but finish the job, Scott. Double 10. Wow.
40. Lisa Lucar, 132.
Will he applaud the 132 if Lisa takes it? She can't. Yeah, and it's happened a few times tonight. She's been disappointed with her attempts at the bullseye on 25. You can see there. 15.
92.
And
Scott Lucar,
hopes
10.
that Scott Walters fluffs his line. Double 5, but he
Game
doesn't.
shot on the mat,
And a
Scott
convincing
Walters.
victory for Scott Walters, 4-0. And that is 3 victories from 3 games played for Scott Walters to really put himself in the picture. And then we see average, not great, but job done, 4-0. The leg difference is getting positive for Scott Walters, and he will return in our final match of the session. It could be a winners take all with Chaz Barstow, but we see Chaz Barstow in our next match as he takes on Andy Hamilton. two at the start of the evening. Andy Hamilton and Chaz Barstow about to lock horns, and they're under a bit of pressure. Hasn't gone to plan. Andy Hamilton, who's lost 2 of his 3 matches and is really getting embroiled. Barstow's won 1 from 2, and a win here for Barstow would rely on Andy Hamilton needing a favour from Barstow, because he takes on Scott Walters in the final match of the evening. Nick Kenny as good as through to the next round. Well, he is through to the next round. But who will be joining him? It looked like he was just going to be plain sailing, but Scott Walters, and now has got his leg difference into positive figures. Scott Walters after that 4-0 win over Lisa Ashton. So Hamilton got to tread carefully here. And he's against the darts as well. Barstow to kick us off. 3 matches remain. Following this, we've got Nick Kenny against Lisa Ashton. And then to conclude things, it's Chaz against Scott Walters.
96.
Hamilton just hasn't happened for him. That solitary victory over Lisa.
48.
Too many missed doubles. Too many scrappy darts from Andy. Wayward darts. And he knows that. Missed doubles against Nick Kenny.
58. $125.
Better from Andy Hamilton. Barstow, who best performance against Lisa Ashton in his previous match, and he saved his best for Lisa Ashton last night as well.
140.
And the man from just up the road in Winchester looking to book his place in tomorrow's final. 2 groups of 3, remember. 3 players
45.
already there. T and Osborne. And Payne. And 3 from 4 will join them. It's going to be Barstow, Hamilton,
97.
Kenny. Well, Kenny's there. 2 from 3 for Barstow, Hamilton, and Scott Walters.
$84.
Not been at it tonight, Andy Hamilton. And Barstow took out 110 earlier on in the night against Nick Kenny. Doesn't need to here.
50.
Will return for 60. It's all getting a bit desperate for Andy Hamilton.
$59. Chaz, you require 60.
60 for Barstow. And what's key in that match at the end of the night? Scott Walters will have the darts.
50. And you require 140.
140 for the hammer. Tappin finished this earlier on in Group B. Sorry, Group C. This is Group B. Hamilton ain't going to do the same.
21. Chaz, you require 10.
Double 5 for Chaz. Yeah,
He's
works his
showing
way
the first
down.
leg.
Gets there in the end.
Barstow.
Comfortable leg for Barstow. And up and running. And a win here would pretty much ensure Barstow will advance to the next round. Tomorrow evening in the final group.
Andy to throw first. Game on.
But Hamilton under pressure. It's out of his hands if he loses this match, Andy Hamilton.
140.
And his fate may be in the hands of his opponent. But early days, only 1 leg on throw. No reason for Hamilton to panic
58.
just yet. We've seen Andy Hamilton.
$77.
Decent lead in this leg for the hammer. Is this the first max? No.
140.
Barstow can't find the first maximum. Opted into switch, and you see the shake of the head. It's been very hard, much hard work for Andy Hamilton tonight. He knows he's not been his best, but if he can find his way through, we'll fancy his chances tomorrow. Just got to get there.
$97. Chance you require 170.
Decent switch, but what a way to break through this would be. Not going to go from Barstow. But good switch in. That's pressured the 129. Yeah, and he can't take
42.
it.
Chance you require 36.
And Walters will be watching on and be happy with what he's seeing. Barstow doubles his lead, 2-0. Andy Hamilton, who, well, looked assert to get through. Could be getting eliminated. 2-0 down. He's lost 2 of his 3 matches.
Chance to throw first. Game on.
It needs a turnaround here. Otherwise, it's Barstow joining Nick Kenny on 10 points. Hamilton will be on 8, but on legs, he will slip below Scott Walters as Barstow fires in his first max, just to compound the misery of Andy Hamilton.
$95. $95.
Tucks one in the corner, Chaz, to back up the 180, but he did have a 180 start the leg against Lisa Ashton when thrown for the match and fluffed his lines there, so something for Andy Hamilton to clutch to, but
98.
He could be heading for a 3-leg deficit here, Andy Hamilton. He's at it again, Chaz. Can't find his second max, but is in command of the leg, in command of the match, and in command of his own destiny heading towards the finals group tomorrow.
84. Chance you require 86.
Won't go for ball. Pick your route. Treble 20 for double 4, treble 16. Treble 13 now. A little bit messy from
36.
Chaz.
$64. Chance you require 50.
Tops for a 3-leg lead. That is a 3-leg lead. This is really convincing display from Chaz Barstow. He's got Andy Hamilton in all sorts of bother. Chaz Barstow 1 leg away from joining Nick Kenny in tomorrow's final group and going joint at the top of the table with Nick Kenny.
Andy to throw first.
And then Andy Hamilton's fate will be in the hands of Chaz Barstow. Scott Walters may even be able to afford to lose that match by a certain scoreline.
96.
Because the leg difference is taking a bit of a hiding for Andy Hamilton here.
$57.
And how important was the first match of the evening when Andy Hamilton squared off against Scott Walters. There's been a very much different Scott Walters this evening.
96. $96.
Can Barstow finish the job in this leg? Won't be leaving a finish off 3-4, even with a second maximum of the match.
44. 98.
elects to switch, but Hamilton, well, the previous visit, not doing himself any favours. He'll start down the bottom of the board, looking for at least minimum one treble 19. Can't find one, and the game is getting away from Andy Hamilton. Barstow, can he find a second max? Well, in the middle, can't find it, but is in control of the tie and in control of his place in the final group tomorrow. Hamilton has unravelled in the last couple of games.
100.
Better visit from Andy.
Does you require 110?
10 for tops. So wrap up a 4-0 scoreline.
90.
Falls short.
And you require 108.
108 for Hamilton to stay alive. Treble 19, single 19, double 16 is likely route. Double 16. Big shot for Hammer.
76.
And not up to it. And
Does you require
it's been
20?
the story of Andy Hamilton's night. It's just not quite happened. And Barstow to wrap up a convincing victory. And that is a 4-0 and a second consecutive whitewash. And now Andy Hamilton has a nervous wait to see if he will make it into the final group. Barstow dominated from start to finish. Restricted Andy Hamilton just one dart at a double. And Barstow is into the final group with a 4-0 win. He's joint top now with Nick Kenny. Hamilton has, like I said, a nervous wait for the outcome of the Walters-Barstow match later on. But coming up next, we've got Lisa Ashton against Nick Kenny. Group B draws to a conclusion. Nick Kenny, who is on 10 points along with Chaz Barstow, taking on winless Lisa Ashton. She's looking to end her campaign in style. There we see Barstow top, Kenny second. They're through. Scott Walters has leapfrogged Andy Hamilton, and Hamilton needs a two-leg swing in that final match. He needs a favour from Chaz Barstow to put himself back in the mix, but Walters has done a fine job of getting himself in recognition, because didn't go to plan last night, but it's gone okay for Nick Kenny. Won't be overly thrilled with how he's played, but
first. Game on.
It's pretty much job done. Just seeing where he will finish in the table now. What a start from Nick Kenny. A statement of intent to kick off this penultimate match of the evening. And it's over to Barstow and Walters to finish things
58.
and complete our lineup in final group tomorrow.
$46. 135.
Nick Kenny, like I said, played in spells tonight. He'll have to play better tomorrow if he's going to
55.
make himself way through to Champions Group, but he's in the mix and can do that.
95.
Well, the last match has a few permutations, but it is as simple as Scott Walters will need 3 legs against Chaz to go through. Should Scott lose the match 4-2, him and Andy are level on
140.
leg difference, and it'll go to the head-to-head wins, which is 1 each, so then we go through to legs 1. And that, in the head-to-head matches, in favour of Andy Hamilton. So, Hamilton still in with a shot. And similar to Colin Osborne, needs a favour. Osborne got his favour earlier on. Lucky old Colin. Will it be lucky old Andy tonight as well?
10.
Walters
20.
will be aware of what he needs to do. He's just got to go up there and try and win the match. Well, Nick Kenny,
no score,
emulating Chaz Barstow from earlier on. Started a leg with darts against Lisa Ashton with a 180 and went on to lose it. And he's done the same here. Ashton stayed in touch. Good leg from Lisa. Breaks Nick Kenny's throw early in the match. Can Lisa end her Group B campaign in style? Get some points on the board. She deserves them.
Lisa to throw first. Game on.
But got to make that advantage count. Has a break now.
57. 59.
Ashton adopting the tactic of switching downstairs again, and with effect.
96.
Can't find the similar switch that Lisa did. Ashton looking to double her lead.
95.
Good last one. The 4-time Ladies World Champion Lisa Ashton. 3 appearances at the Grand Slam and the World Championship as well. We'll expect to be there at the end of the year.
57.
Here in Fallon, as good as booked their places in the inaugural Ladies World Match Play. That will be played on finals day in Blackpool throughout the afternoon.
125.
But Nick Kenny, credit to him, has turned this leg around.
97. Nick require 81.
81 for 1-1. Double 12. Tough switch, but Kenny gets it. Fair play to him. Good turnaround. Would have been disappointed the way he dropped the first leg on darts, but breaks straight back to level up his final match of the evening. Knows he's going through to the final group tomorrow, but will want to cap it in style. Will want to finish top of the group. Still got a chance of doing that if he wins here. And Scott Walters defeats Chaz Barstow in the final match.
99.
Brilliant switching again from Lisa Ashton. That's the fourth 171 from Lisa tonight.
$100.
There's another one.
174.
Brilliant from Lisa Ashton. And that offers up the chance of a quite unique 9-dart leg.
156.
And she knew to switch as well because she stays on the 57. She doesn't leave a finish, but can't take the 156.
45.
But the thinking cap was on for Lisa Ashton. Little smile from Nick Kenny. We could be looking at a third consecutive breaker throw.
41. Lisa Dukar, 111. $51. Nick Dukar, 139.
139. We saw that from Dom Taylor earlier on to cap off a fine victory over Alan Tabin. Not going to see it from
Lisa
Nick Kenny here.
60.
Double 10.
Yes,
It is a third consecutive break.
Lisa Ashton.
Ashton was 6 darts into the perfect leg in that leg. Switching with treble 19 to great effect and leads 2-1. Nick Kenny, who knows the job's done, but like I said, will want to finish in style. But as will Lisa Ashton, she'll want to bow out in style. Here she goes again. Incredible.
171.
Nick Kenny can't believe what's happening.
$140.
Can't keep the 9-dart shot alive, but
95.
Can Kenny respond? Pulled that dart. Yeah, just chuntering away from himself. He knows he didn't release that one like he can, like he should have done.
$133. $57. Lisa Dukar, 100.
So for a 3-1 lead for Lisa Ashton. She had a chance to lead Annie Hamilton 3-1 and couldn't take them. 68 remains. Trying
54.
to force it through, but we'll return for 48.
$97.
Picks
Lisa
off that
Dukar,
treble 19,
48.
but for 3-1 and one away from a first win in Group B for Lisa Ashton. Double 8.
32.
Find it.
Nick Dukar, 107.
So Nick Kenny to hang on in there for the fourth consecutive break. And does tidy up,
71.
but
Lisa Dukar, 16.
Ashton's already had 2 for 3-1. She's going to get 3 more. And can't
No
convert.
score.
It's just
Nick
not
Dukar,
happened for Lisa
36.
Ashton. Nick Kenny shaking his head. He can't believe he's got the opportunity, but he's getting it. Is he taking it? Over to double 9. He does pin the double 9, and that will hurt. Lisa Ashton dominated that leg, really. But Kenny with the fourth consecutive breaker throw to restore the 2-all scoreline. So restore, get things level, and is expecting now to move through the gears and finish the job. And then it sets us up brilliantly for our final match. Walters, remember, needs 3 legs.
99.
And he will join Kenny and Chaz Barstow, along with Colin Osborne, Kieran Tehan and Josh Payne in tomorrow's final group.
95.
Wobbly stem there for Nick.
45.
The second one looked like it needs a little tighten up. Treble 19 hitting has been incredible from Lisa. Been a good tactic. Hasn't got the rewards yet.
58. 133.
And she goes again. And are we heading for another breaker throw here?
$139. Lisa Carl 140. 60. Nick Carl 160.
Well, what a time to pull this out the bag would be for Nick Kenny.
89. Lisa Carl 80.
Another one for Tops. Tops for Lisa.
40.
Can't find it.
Nick Carl 71.
So is it a first holder throw for Nick Kenny? Double 16. No.
39. Lisa Carl 40.
Well away with that last dart. And that is bob on, and that is 5 consecutive legs against the darts. Who can find that elusive hold that will clinch victory? Lisa Ashton will now throw for the match on her first points in Group B.
6 leg Lisa
and condemn Nick Kenny to a second defeat of the evening. It won't derail his progress to the final group tomorrow, but it will allow Lisa Ashton to end on a high and pick up some deserved points. She's been there or thereabouts tonight. Kudos Nick Kenny. Fires in another max. Second of this contest.
83. $100.
Good lasting from Nick. He lost out when thrown for the match against Scott Walters earlier on in a deciding leg.
133.
Well, he'll hope to get the opportunity to throw for this one. He may not.
60. Lisa Carl 150.
Yeah, just a bit lobby there. He's illustrating with his hand movements, but does leave a finish.
58. Nick Carl 161. 64. Lisa Carl 97.
But Ashton will hope to get a match die. She may start on the ball. She's not been great on the ball tonight. She's been not even finding the 25. And
38.
Will she be let off the hook? Kenny to send us all the way. May go double 19 for Tops. Stay down there and hope that Ashton misses the opportunity. But some match darts are incoming for Lisa Ashton to end her campaign with a victory. Double 10. And she does end her campaign with a victory. Lisa Ashton at the 8th attempt gets her first win in Group B, a deserved win as well. Nick Kenny will advance to tomorrow's final group. Hasn't played his best stuff tonight. Will have to play better tomorrow. There's a couple of maxes in there, but Ashton deservedly gets her first victory. She bows out in style, and it's all focuses now to the battle for the final spot. Scott Walters against Chaz Barstow coming up. final match of the night incoming, and plenty to play for, particularly for Scott Walters. He's mastered a real good turnaround tonight. 3 wins from 3. And he doesn't actually need to win this match, but he does need 3 legs to book his place in the next round. There we see level on points of Andy Hamilton, but it all gets a bit complicated from there. It actually comes down to legs won in their head-to-head meetings, which favours Andy Hamilton. But obviously, Walters gets 3 legs. That goes out the window. He wins the match. He remarkably will finish on the same points as Nick Kenny and Chaz Barstow.
Scott to throw first. Game on.
Was unthinkable at the beginning of the evening, but Walters has the advantage of throwing first. Positive start needed.
85.
Barstow has played some brilliant stuff in spells tonight. Can
66.
he salvage the situation for Andy Hamilton? Or will Scott Walters cap off a fine night's work?
100.
Can't find a second treble. And it all swung on that first match of the
100.
evening. Scott Walters loses that match to Andy Hamilton. It's pretty much plain sailing for the rest of the evening. He's done well to keep this group alive, Scott Walters.
55.
And making a solid fist of holding throw here. Andy Hamilton will be having it, keeping an eye on the scoreline.
100.
And we'll be hoping for an early break for Barstow, but already Scott Walters looking comfortable. Well,
180.
Not as comfortable as he might have been. Walters just trying to get his flight back into his stem. Got maybe a bit of a running repairs here. Might need to change the stem. So a little distraction for Scott Walters here. An important moment of the match. Yeah. Just needs to stay focused. Should get 1 dart for the opening leg on throw. It is going to be just 1. And it's at double 10. That might... Yeah, I was going to say that might aid him because it's an open target. And Scott Walters tidies up the 80, takes the opening leg. He's 1/3 of the way there to the group final tomorrow.
Make chance to throw first. Game on.
And Barstow was waiting in the wings.
96.
Scott Walters, if he can break here, would really give him some breathing space. Will take the pressure
60.
off. As long as it stays close, Scott Walters will be edgy.
140. 95.
Can he get the insurance policy of a breaker throw? He's not going to leave it handy off the 3-4-6.
99. 97.
Sprayed that one, Chaz.
44.
140 really will put Walters in the mix in this leg. 180 even better.
127.
Goes to switch.
122.
Not happy with the last one, but brings him level with Chaz. And Chaz isn't going to take it out. Can he sneak one in the middle? He can't.
54. Scott Ricard, 122.
The Walters surge may continue here. Bullseye.
97.
Unlucky.
Chance required.
Great effort. It's been a great spirited performance throughout the night from Scott Walters. Deserves a spot, but he's got to finalise it. And Barstow with the last dart. And Andy Hamilton cheers that one on. It's level. Still work for Scott Walters to do. Missed a dart of bull for a 2-leg lead. Still in the balance. 1 leg apiece in this final match in Group B. Walters knows he's got the darts. He can edge closer here. Good start.
140.
Underperformed Scott Walters last night. Really wasn't at it. Some turnaround this
59.
evening.
81.
Just got to keep his emotions in check, Scott. To rush
100.
to try and get to 3 legs. Stay focused. You know, he's been pretty focused throughout the night. The 4-0 win over Lisa Ashton
60.
really helped his cause. And the favourite, Chaz Barstow, defeating Andy Hamilton 4-0, helped his cause as well.
96.
Ooh, now then. Maybe just starting to think about the occasion here, Scott Walters. And Barstow forces the opportunity of a breaker throw. Good last one from Walters, needed that.
106.
Barstow for the break. 6 for tops. Can't find the break.
85.
But it's still a big ask for Walters. 20 for bull. He missed bull for the second leg. Will it be his friend on this occasion?
60.
No, he misses again.
20.
He's had chances in every leg, Scott Walters. But are we staring at a breaker throw? Chaz up to double 5. There's nowhere near. Neither's that.
10.
Let off for Scott
25.
Walters. And that is a 2-1 lead. He's one away, Scott Walters. Dodged the bullet there. But he is now on the brink of booking a place in tomorrow's final group. Remember, he only needs 1 leg. Well, 1 more leg. Doesn't need to win the tie. And it would condemn Andy Hamilton to elimination along with Lisa Ashton. And it would be the final place in the final group tomorrow. Barstow's there.
57.
Nick Kenny's there. Osborne's there. Kieran Tian's there. Josh Payne's been there for days. Who will complete the lineup? It's looking like it's going to be Scott Walters.
$139.
Barstow switching down the board.
60. $140.
Back-to-back 2 treble visits from Chaz. Doesn't leave a finish. So Walters can't leave on either. So
95.
Barstow 6 at the 165. And then it's all about the next leg for Walters. He had the darts.
100.
I mean, if he can pinch this leg here, it's job done. It saves the drama of the next leg.
100. Chance you require 65.
Barstow to level us up. Tops. That is 2 apiece. In the balance again. Scott Walters needs 1 more leg. He's got the darts in this 5th leg. Can he get the job done here?
First, game on.
Needs a positive start. And that is a very positive start from Scott Walters. Is Andy Hamilton about to bow out? But Chaz Barstow's making a good fist of this. But been so impressed with Scott all night.
81.
This is the leg you feel. If he drops this leg, he'll find it hard to recover in the next one.
96.
Switching. Slender lead for Barstow. Is Walter starting to blink? Is he starting to think about it?
78.
Good last start. Brilliant last start from Scott Walters. And he's going to have 6 darts at the 202. Because Barstow is on 211. How's your setup play, Scott? Picking
97.
off a last start again. And they have come to his rescue on a couple of occasions. And Barstow
96. Got your car 105.
leaves it in the balance. But this, to book your spot in the final group. The 3 legs he needed.
45. Chance you require 150.
Well, now then. This could throw a spanner in the works. He's going to get a dart. Tops for Barstow. And it is
Each on the
tops for
fifth
Chaz
leg,
Barstow.
Barstow.
Lifeline for Andy Hamilton. He's still hanging on in there. Scott Walters isn't done yet, but he still needs one more leg. And now he needs it against the Chaz Barstow throw.
Six-leg chance to
Scott
throw
Walters
first, game on.
is all his hard work tonight about to be undone. He needs one more leg.
96.
What must be going through this man's mind? He's been a real competitor
60.
tonight, but it looks like it's slipping away from him. Just 80 for Barstow. That might be an opening. The cover shooting, the last start of treble 19s, it looked like it was going to be enough for Walters.
140.
Credit to him. He must be edgy up there.
58.
And Andy Hamilton watching on, hoping.
45.
Well, hoping for that visit, and he got it. But he needs some more big visits from this man, and it's incoming. Come down for treble 17, maybe.
97.
Yeah, sensible ploy. And leaves the 170.
100. Judge your car, 170.
How's your setup? Brilliant setup.
130.
Barstow,
Judge
unless
156.
Scott Walters can produce a 156. Another one of them. Unlucky, unlucky, and he knows his chances are now
82.
hanging by a
Judge your
thread.
car, 40.
Barstow to cap off with victory. Tops. He's not there yet. He's
No
still
score.
not
Scott
there.
McLaren, 74.
Walters, 20. To book his place in the final group, and he
54.
falls
Judge
short.
your
He's
car,
had a dart.
50.
He can't believe it. Barstow now to take himself through along with Andy
He's
Hamilton.
on the
He
match.
does the
Judge
job, and hard luck for Scott Walters. He needed 3 legs. He had a dart to get that leg, but he, after a gallant effort, is eliminated from Group B along with Lisa Ashton. Andy Hamilton, Nick Kenny and Chaz Barstow will go in through to the final group tomorrow. They're accompanied by Colin Osborne, Kieran Tehan and Josh Payne, and those 6 competitors will play for 3 spots in the final champions group, and it all is brought to you from 10 p.m. on Sporty Stuff TV. Don't miss out. We'll join you again tomorrow evening.